Alright, in this video I want to take a look at a new tool that I just had to get. And I usually get things because I need them. This is the ball joint service kit that you can get all over Amazon. This is the most affordable one I could find because I need to change my upper ball joint on my car. So I didn't have anything. Excuse me. It's pretty cold in here, so this is what it looks like, or what I need to change. And that's the boot. It comes with the split ring that goes down there. I don't know if I can use that on my car or not, but some cars have it, some don't. Got the castle nut, the pin, and it also has the grease fitting for the bottom, which is kind of cool. So that's what I'm looking at right now. So we're going to take a look at the tool that I need in order to get this in there. And if you're familiar with this, don't mind me. I'm just taking a look at the tool. I'm not going to do a review on it because I am definitely not a professional when it comes to this. But anyway, this is what you get. It does come with a set of instructions that they threw in the box. It wasn't in here. I folded it and I put it in here. But this was put in the box. It's an A4 size paper, just in case anybody wants to copy it, because I did make a PDF out of it. So I've never used one myself for an upper. I've never taken out an upper ball joint. I did the bottom ones, but the other ones on the top I need to press them. So it comes with pretty simple to understand instructions, so that's kind of nice. Aside from that, this is it. Let me see if the camera will catch everything here. Sorry about that if I'm missing something. So this is the smallest kit. It's not the big one. There's a larger one, and then there's a separate set of these adapters that you can get. But I decided to just get this one and see if I could, if I had the parts that I needed to do my ball joints on my car. So this is what this one is. Let me get a flashlight here. It's just a hollow. So far these look pretty decent. I don't know if they're really soft or not. I haven't used it yet. Here's another one. And then you got your three pieces here. These are just straight, as you can see. Nothing to it. That's cool. And then you have this sort of step versions, smaller opening there. This one's the larger one. And these are the ones that go on both ends when when you're trying to get them out or install, as they have on the instructions here. So there you go. Depending on what you're doing, installing it or taking it out, it'll go on top or the bottom. So that's pretty straightforward. I'm not going to go into that. And the way it comes is basically, this is one piece here and it comes loose. It's pretty heavy too. But the way this works is you put it in through here like that, and then you push it up, and that's where your other pieces go in the middle here, depending on what you're doing, and obviously your arm will go in there too. So I'm not going to go too much into that because that's pretty straightforward. Now the only thing that had me a little worried, or I'm still kind of not so great about, if you look at my hand, this casting, it's not the best. And not only because it keeps coming off on me, but if you look at the edges here, these are not machined straight. Let me see if I can get that picture here. See, this is not flat. This is higher than, and that's higher than this two ends here. It still kind of works from what I noticed, but on this side it doesn't matter. You don't put anything on here since that's where the screw comes in. But still, it's not as flat. You know, it's not machined or anything. Especially this one. This one you do need because that's where your pieces. Let's see which one here. I think it was this one that you would put on here. And as you can see, that piece goes right in there, but it doesn't sit quite flat because it's not. I mean, it'll still work, I think, for once you start pressing it. But you know, the casting on this is just not the best, but it'll work. So far it looks clean in there. It does have a lot of rough edges, and I think I had a piece of the metal sticking out here, so don't put your fingers in there because that is sharp. It's sort of machined, I think, on here, on the end, and this end maybe a little bit. But I've seen others and they look a lot better than this particular piece. So I don't know how well this is gonna work. I'm hoping it'll allow me to change that, number one, because that shouldn't take a lot of too much pressure, and I can always hammer things down, but that's not what you want. That's not the correct way of doing it. So that's pretty much it for this one. And you know, once you lift this up, you really shouldn't have to put too much on it. My car's not rusted or anything either, so if this holds up, that'd be great. I think it will. But one thing I want to mention is that since I'll be using this piece here, as you can see, that goes there, so that's perfect. And then I'll be using this and these two, I believe, at least for my car, or this one, depending on how I'm doing it. I'll do another video on that if I remember. So for now, I want to kind of go through this a little bit, because as I was looking at this whole ball joint that I gotta replace, it has this separate piece which is a boot, rubber boot, but on the bottom it's actually pretty hard. I don't know if there's a metal piece here or not, but I tried putting it in, you know, just kind of to test it out and see if I could get it under with my hands, and I really couldn't. Eventually I'll put some oil in there and stuff to make it easier to go in, but this piece, although it looks like it will fit, it doesn't quite work, because as soon as you put pressure on it, it goes sideways, and I don't have a socket big enough for this. I think the 32 is still too small. Yeah, this is like 35, I think it was, somewhere on there. So I thought about it, and I thought, well, if I make something to sort of 3D print something that will allow me to push it in there, maybe that'll work. But you know, this was my first ring here, and this one's definitely too tight. So I came up with the second version here. This one fits better. The goal is for this piece to sit on it, and of course I'm still having issues with it moving. So what I did was I kept going, and I came up with this one, where I can have this one sit in here, and then I can use that to push it in there when I'm ready to go, because I just don't have anything large enough. So I went ahead and 3D printed this piece. But even this one was still kind of, I thought it could use a little bit of an improvement there. So I came up with this one. It's a little thicker from the bottom and the sides here, and it's a little higher, so that this one sits a lot better on it, and then there's no movement side to side. So the plan is to just put that on there, because remember, the boot has to get pushed and right over that, and there has to be enough clearance for it to go down. So that's why this is just loose on here. But now I can put this on top and it doesn't move anywhere, and I can press it down or hit it down or whatever the case may be. And now I can do this as long as it's center once it's installed, because now that I think about it, this is going to be upside down. So I'm going to have to come up from the bottom, and I may use the if I can use this, I'll use that. If I can just push it in with a tap, then I'll do that. But so that's kind of what I came up with, you know, without having to look for another piece of tube or whatever. I think that'll work, because that allows me to push evenly all around and still get the edge on the bottom, because it's really not a lot in here. So I just need to go over it like that, and hopefully that'll work. But I heard it's not that bad to push them in. I really don't know. I've never done one, so this is going to be my first set for the uppers. And that's pretty much it. That's what I'm looking at and why I got this set. And hopefully things will be okay. I know I got a lot of stuff to take out, but I'm trying to take my time with it so I can do it right the first time and not screw things up too much. So hopefully. But thanks for watching. I hope that helps somehow.